In this video, we will be seeing how to create object for a class. So before that, once again, let's see what is a class. So class is a definition of object or a blueprint of object, and class can contain data members and member functions. So whatever are the features or behavior of object will be defined by class. And if we are creating a single class in program, we can have n number of objects for that particular class, which can have the attributes and behavior defined by the class data members and member functions respectively. So here is the syntax to how to write class, syntax of how to write class in Java program. So class keyword followed by the class name, and we open the class with curly bracket, close it with curly bracket, and within the class we have data members and member functions. And as in the last class we have seen that if we have a class car, then and if it is having attributes like color and mileage, then we can have n number of objects for that class car, like Swift car with color as red and mileage as 60, and then Punch car and with color white and mileage 70. Like that, we may have different car objects with its features defined by the common class car. So, which we will be seeing in today's example. So before that, let's see what is object. So object is reference or instance of a class. We can say object is instance of class, and using the object we can access class members. So object is created to access the class members. So class members like data members or member functions. Member functions we also call methods in Java. So member functions or methods or data members of class can be accessed using the class object. And object will contain the behavior and attributes as, like if we have a, suppose if we have created an object, so here, so object will have features and behavior defined by the class. So object will have features, we can also say attributes, and behavior defined by class. And behavior and features of the object is defined by class data members and member functions respectively. So here features are defined by the data members and behavior by member functions or methods. So data members will be defining what are the attributes of class object, and member function, how it should behave, is defined by the member function. So respectively. So object is instance or reference of class using which we can access the class members, and it will have features and behavior defined by class data members and member function respectively. So to access class members, we create objects. And to create object, we follow. So already I have written that sentence. So to access class members, it is created to access the class members like data members or member functions. And syntax for creating object is class name followed by object name equal to new class name. And we write parenthesis and semicolon. So this is the syntax using which we create the object. And this class name is the class name which we have created or given for the class which we created. So to create class, we follow this syntax, and to create object, we follow the object syntax like this. And we access the class members using the object name followed by dot operator, and it can be a data member like this, or it can be a member function. So member function also with object we can access by using object name and member function name like this, followed by the parameter values. So like this, we can use object of a class to call a member function or invoke a member function for its execution, or we can also use it to assign or initialize the data members of the class equal to value you can assign, or just for printing purpose also you can use it. So this way we can use object. So now let's see practically. So in the last example, in the last class, we have seen how to create class. So class keyword followed by the class name. Within the class, we have data members like student ID and student name of integer type and string type respectively. Then we have a member function display details, which is displaying student ID and student name. Now within the main method, here we have created the student details object as stu1. And using that object, we are able to access the student ID, student name, and we are here initializing the data members or this student ID or student name. That means we are assigning value to student ID and student name. So then we are calling the display details function, member function, which will be printing student ID and student name. So which when executed will provide you the output like it prints ID and name, student ID and student name. Now I am going to remove this class with some other class, like we'll take some other example here and we'll create multiple objects. So because there is no student details class, we'll remove this line. And after the class student ends here, or let's take a member in the same class, like I am taking here int ID, a single data member I'm taking. Now let's create an object for this class. So for that we require student class name followed by the object name. You can give anything, or S1 I'm giving equal to new student. And here S1 dot ID equal to 90 I'm giving. And for printing this S1 dot ID, again system dot out dot println I'm using, and I'll print student ID. Student ID is, and I will be giving the variable name after comma as s1 dot id. So even here we need to access it with the object. So here some system dot out dot println, and here I'm sorry, here plus symbol we need to give to combine a string to a variable. And then here we get, so now if I run, student ID is 90. Like that, multiple objects we can create. This is one object. Similarly, now I'm going to create another object. For that, I have copied these 3 lines or statements, and then I'm pasting it again here. And I will just change the object name because no two objects can have same name in the same scope. That means in the same function here, within main, we are creating objects. So in the same function main, we cannot have two objects with same name. So here I'm creating another object as s2 and s2.id, and here I can give some other value. So I am giving here, like let's say 100. First I have given 90, now 100. Now if I run or execute the program, I get student ID is 90 and then student ID is 100. Like that, n number of objects you can create. Again I'm creating. So S3 I will take different name again. and I can change the value here. So here I'm giving 200, and if I execute again, I get three different students ID, 90, 100, 200. Same with the member function. If there is a member function in the class, let's say here if I have void display, that displays the student ID. So I will take this and I will keep it here. And because it is outside of the main, I'm not using here object, because in the same class object is not required. Suppose these are coming from other class, object is required. So here I am removing this statement from the main. So from main, even while printing, we require object because it is static. From static context, in the same class also, we need object. So here it is not static, so no need of object along with ID. So ID and a method we have taken display, which is displaying ID. So both the members we will be calling using the object in the main now. S1 dot display we will call. Same way, the same thing I will write with different objects. So here S2 dot display with second object S3 dot display. So this display, which is a common method or member of class, will be acting differently for three different objects. So these three objects will be having in common this ID and display, which will work differently for three different objects. Like while using this ID with S1, we have given 90, and here we have given 100, and here 200. So three different times we have given three different values. Same way, this display method we have used with three different uh, objects, that is S1, S2, and S3, and three different times it will be printing three different values of three different objects. So when I will be running this, I will be getting student ID is 90, 100, and 200, which is displayed by a single display method of class student. So this way we can create n number of objects for a single class student, and the single class student which is having ID and display as its data member and member function respectively will be defining. So for this we are creating n number of objects, and this will be acting, ID and display will be acting as features of each and every object. Like S1 is having features like ID and behavior defined by display. S2, ID is the data member. For S2 also ID feature and display defines the behavior. Same way for S3 also ID is the feature, display defines the behavior. So whatever logic you want to execute, you can write in display, which will be acting according to each object when created differently. So this way we can use and create objects in a Java program, and in detail the object methods and all about objects in very detail we will be seeing in coming videos. So this was just an introduction of how to create object in a class. So please do subscribe channel for more detailed topics of Java and also other computer programming languages.